about to release a new album and a new single, of course. It's Gilbert O'Sullivan.
One, two, 3, 4. Whoa! It wasn't transposed. It's a technical thing, Terry, that they assured me that it would, the piano would be transposed when I came out, and it wasn't.
Heads will roll.
Heads will roll, and we know whose heads they'll be. Right, hit it again. Sorry about that. It's live radio. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've no wish to hurry, love, but have you seen the time? It's 9:15 and we're supposed to be there at 9. I don't think the registrar will be very pleased when we show up an hour late like 2 frozen peas. Presently and past, there's something that begins with them and ends in a loss. More than a complete disaster, even from the start. What could it be? It's matrimony. I know how you wonder about me, walk down the aisle, but think see it's worthwhile. It won't please our mums and dads, but they don't even know. Besides, if they did what we meant, they wouldn't even know. You and me are all that matters. This week all the rest. Trust you soon to be your man. Know what is best. There is only now there's gonna be an answer from you, but then one from me. That's matrimony. I'm truly grateful for the little things in life that have made me so glad. Every other hour that I spend with you is not the least bit sad. We're quite the opposite, in fact, and if you don't believe me, here's the proof. Ask me if I, and I'll say I do. Trust you soon to be your man who knows what is best. And there is only now there's gonna be an answer from you, then one from me. Yeah. That's matrimony. Marriage. The joining together of two people, for better or for worse, till death them do.
That went okay. Don't sit on your microphone. So, despite the lack of transposition, I noticed you got a wonderful string quartet playing, and you make them sing as well.
Well, they tour, the girls tour with us, so they're used to the material, and they quite enjoy it. It's
why wouldn't they enjoy it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you've got this new album. which is coming out at the end of January.
Absolutely, yeah. About every 2.5 years I bring out
This one's called Gilbertville.
Yeah, there's actually a place in America. My brother was driving, he lives in Detroit, Michigan, and he was driving in this part of America, and he passed this sign that on the one side it said Gilbertville, and the other side it said Raymondville. And Raymond is my real name, so he took a photograph and sent it to me, and we were looking for a title for the album, and it just seemed quite appropriate.
Yeah, it's terrific.
It was recorded in Nashville, so it's kind of has the American link.
Yeah, it's great to see you back with us again, because I can't remember how long it is since you and I
28
talked.
Years.
He remembers.
Just like yesterday. It's about 28 years, I think, yeah. A lot of water under the bridge since then.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you come and go, don't you? You're not one of these pop stars who seems to be always with us. You had this enormous series of huge hits in the 70s, and then you kind of faded away slightly. You know, here you're fading back into view. Is this a kind of policy of yours?
That's a very sort of nice way to put it. I mean, of course you have highs and lows and stuff. The success peters off. But what you do is, you're the kind of person like me who loves songwriting, then you continue. So what happens is that throughout the 90s I released regular albums, and while you don't make the charts anymore, you want to, of course, but you're really happy as long as you have that ability and that enthusiasm to write and make records. That really is what it's all about for me.
Of course, and now we're talking to Jimmy Carr, who is a sort of, it's almost touring is almost a disease with him, you know. You can see that
comedians are the new rock and roll, so.
I think that's probably
absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So they've taken your place then.
They've taken the place. Well, they're the arena acts anymore now. We go back to the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, but do you tour? I mean, do you enjoy touring? Like Jimmy obviously does.
Absolutely, Terry, because it's no point releasing albums if you're not going to get out there and promote it. And the joy of a live performance is that you get to see the kind of people who are still interested in you. So it's always it's a different experience to writing and recording, but just as enjoyable.
Well, like myself, you were born in Ireland, you were born in Waterford, I was born in Limerick, and your parents came over here when you were very young. Had they any kind of musical background at all that would make you learn the piano and begin to sing?
Well, Mum had a piano, one of 6 children. So my mother had the piano in the house. Why? Because in those days you felt that if one of your kids could play the piano, they perhaps could earn a few bob in the pub as they got older and stuff. So for some reason the piano was there, which was great. But I think musically, Irish people have a tradition for the sing-songs and the ceilidh. So that might have been there. But my mother and my father is quite musical, but my father, I don't think so. I think I'm the oddball, I think, in the family. There's always one.
Do you come from a big Irish family?
Pardon, sir?
Big Irish family?
Absolutely. Is there a small one?
Yes, there is. There is. There's just my brother and me. So we're the rarity. I was just wondering if you were part of a big Irish
Absolutely.
family.
I mean, you know, when we do the concert tours, when we tour, we always play Dublin, and half the audience is made up of family members, so...
Well, the front row is made up of family members today.
I think I'm in awe of your audience today, because for them to get here in these incredible conditions, they deserve applause for that.
They do. But don't encourage them. They love applauding themselves. I try not. I try to placate them with sweets and mince pies, and indeed I'll press you to a sweet very shortly, but probably not before you sing for us again. Tell us, are you going to tour to promote the new album, or what?
Yeah, again, as I said earlier, there's no point releasing an album if you don't get out there and promote it. So we start a small English tour in February. We'll go all over Liverpool, Sheffield, Birmingham, you know, all over the country. A short tour, and then we'll hit Europe. And
do you get, well, so how do they feel about you in Europe? They still love you there?
Yeah.
Japan?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the thing about it is it depends on your material. If your material can sustain that, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you regularly go to these places, people are genuinely interested in seeing you. But the key is always, I'm not doing this just to be able to perform songs that I'm very proud of. I'm really doing it because I like recording new material, I like writing new material, and I like the opportunity of letting audiences hear it in the hope that they'll be interested in hearing it and wanting it.
Where do you call home now?
I live in Jersey.
Oh, you lived in Ireland for a while, didn't you?
I did during a sort of heavy period, and way back.
Oh,
around the 28-year or 27-year period.
A bad weather period, wasn't it?
But no, I live in Jersey. It's a wonderful place, Jersey. It's a great place to bring up children. And it's perfect for me as a songwriter, as a lyricist, because I don't drive, so I can walk. There are no motorways in Jersey. It's a beautiful island and a great place. The kids, it's a lovely place to raise children because there's no overcrowding in schools.
And any snow?
At the moment, I called my wife, who's not here today, and she said there's about a foot of it.
A foot of snow in Jersey, in the Channel Islands.
Yeah, it's
the world's gone mad.
It's the myth of Bergerac. It's the myth of Bergerac. I think the interesting thing is Bergerac used to get shown all over the world. And so what happened is that because it's recorded in summer, people used to come from Scandinavia in the middle of our winter and expect the sunshine to be there, and we're really disappointed.
Look, it's a great pleasure to talk to you again after all these years and to hear you sing. Will you sing for us again?
Absolutely.
Gilbert O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I don't know what makes a man or a woman even think that terror isn't evil. How could anyone have plans that would guarantee the death of thousands of people? And yet as I look back now on what happened, like the calls from those in planes, they were trapped in whatever they felt that day. I love you, that was all they wanted to say. Call this if you like naive, but if I don't threaten your life, why would you deplore me? Just because I might believe in a different set of values, you think it unholy. What you must